Hello, family. We miss you all and we look forward to seeing you soon. We pray you're all safe and healthy. It's an unusual time that we find ourselves in, and situation with quarantines and social distancing and all. This social distancing thing is so new and unusual, it's enough to drive fear and uncertainty in our hearts. What I want to do this evening is to remind you that this idea of social distancing is not new. For those of you who are older, you might remember some past quarantines in the 50s, perhaps, for something like polio. For the rest of us, we might think of something from history books like the 1918 Spanish flu. But what I want to tell you is this idea of separating to prevent the spread of disease came from God and goes back a lot farther, something like 3,500 years to the book of Leviticus. Chapter 13 of Leviticus, as well as other books in the Old Testament, God prescribes that people with infectious diseases should live outside the camp until they're recovered. Essentially, the social distancing of Moses' day. Make no mistake, we should treat the Wuhan virus with caution and respect, but not fear. That brings me to my favorite verse of the Bible, John 14:1. On this occasion, Jesus speaks to the disciples regarding a time coming which would bring great fear and uncertainty to them, his trial and death on the cross. And what Jesus tells them in their time of fear and uncertainty is perfect advice for us too. Jesus says, "Let not your hearts be troubled. Trust in God and trust also in me." It's my favorite verse because so many times in life there's a need to still our hearts and remember to trust God and Jesus. That's what I encourage you to do. Take what precautions you can, but then turn to God. Don't fear. Don't worry. Trust God. Trust Jesus. We'll all be back together soon. Thank you. Good night.